Hi guys, long time no see. I have not been here in several months. Um, I posted a video. I posted a video at the end of September. I recorded a video at the end of October and I never uploaded it. I also recorded a whip parade that I never uploaded. The whip parade needs some editing and I don't know if that's going to get done. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to get uploaded. Um, but this video is likely to be more chat than stitching. There's some stitching and some haul, but there's likely to be a lot of chat in this video too, just because things have been happening since I've not been here. Um, so the quick version of the story is that I have not done a whole lot of stitching since November, the beginning of November. So one of the things I talked about in my October video that I didn't upload is, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't upload it, honestly, um, is so in November they did some construction on my apartment, and um, I had to go stay in a hotel for 2 weeks. I spent a good portion of October having to pack up stuff in my apartment uh, and fighting with management, frankly. Um, and for some stuff that was happening before that, and then for this construction, because they replaced the mainline plumbing in my apartment, which means I had to dig up the living room and bathroom floors. So I had to have everything out of the front of the living room and out of the bathroom, and I had to, you know, move. They didn't make me move all my furniture. I did have to move some of it to the back half of the living room though, and they moved it because, of course, if they dig up the floor, they have to replace the floor. So they ended up moving all my furniture into the kitchen, and it was, yeah, it was a lot. Anyway, so they did that. I came back. It was 2 weeks. I came back in the middle of November, and then everything was packed up, and my furniture was all jammed into the kitchen, and it was a disaster. My house is normally a mess anyway. Like, I'm not the greatest housekeeper. Um, See that? Yeah. So not the greatest housekeeper, and so just my house was like chaos. Um, and I went and stayed in the hotel. I stitched the first couple of nights that I was in the hotel. Um, and I don't know what happened after that. Like the first couple of nights I was there, I did 200 stitches one night, I did 200 stitches the next night, and after that, I don't know what happened. I didn't stitch the rest of the time that I was there. Um, the other thing that happened at that same time, at the end of October, was that I got called for jury duty. And I reported to jury duty in downtown on October 25th, and they hadn't finished the voir dire yet. And so they said, come back tomorrow. And by the end of the day on October 26th, I was an alternate juror on this jury. Life was stressful last fall. I'm just saying, it was. So, um, the the plaintiff made their opening argument on at the very end of the day on October 26th. They had picked the jurors, they had picked the alternates, they had excused everybody else. There was enough time left that the plaintiff attorney made their opening argument on October 26th. So I'm staying in this hotel. I'm commuting back and forth into downtown Los Angeles every day for jury duty. I didn't take my work computer to the hotel with me because hotel Wi-Fi has zero security, and I can't telework with zero security. So on the days that I wasn't reporting to jury duty, I was going into the office to work. Um, so November was crazy, and uh, I'll give you a little short recap of the jury duty cases. I spent 22 days on jury duty. We October 26th, we got discharged on December 14th. There were some days off in there and some short days, and we had a break the week of Thanksgiving, but it was there's 22 days of jury service on my certification. It was a long trial. Um, and so then I came home, I finished jury duty. I don't know what happened. I did 400 stitches in the month of November. I think I did 100 stitches in the month of December. Even though I was off work for two weeks, I still wasn't stitching. Um, in January, I started making a little more effort. I think I got to about 1,300 stitches in January. Um, and then in February, I think I got to about 700. And normally I do, if you guys have been here, I try to do between 4 and 5,000 stitches. I'm always aiming for 5,000. Usually I get to at least 4. I don't often make it to 5, but for me to not have even 1,000 stitches is crazy. And so for the month of March, I lowered my category goal because this is the other thing that I haven't been doing. I haven't been doing categories. I was on Harvest Stitchers. I was slacking with them, and I know they were getting frustrated with me because I know they needed the help, and I wasn't doing my first share of the work in there. I just wasn't stitching enough. Like I was doing a little bit, but not nearly enough. I lowered my category goal by about half. And in the month of March, I finally hit my category goal. Um, I made an arrangement in Harvest Stitchers that I was going to do this one particular task every day, and I started doing it, and it helped. I wouldn't say that my stitchy bug is on fire exactly, but I was stitching every day. At least for that little bit. Harvest Stitchers is now shutting down, so that's not happening anymore. And I'm gonna have to figure out my stitchy bug again. But I'm starting to get back in the swing of things here. Um, yeah. What I have been doing since I haven't been stitching, I've been working on decluttering my house. I was told by a friend about this course called Take Your House Back, and it was on sale over uh, Black Friday weekend. It goes on sale a lot. Like, don't buy it at full price. Buy it when it goes on sale. It goes on sale quite a bit. And it's Dawn from Minimum Mom, Cass from Clutterbug, and Dana from A Slob Comes Clean. They put on this course together. It's fantastic. They all have their independent YouTube channels. You can get all their content for free. But they come together in this course, and it's fantastic. And they they did this event that they do about 3 times a year called an All Day Declutter, where they're on YouTube for 8 hours and they're decluttering, they're cheering you on, they're helping you, they're giving you tips. They're like it's wonderful. I participated in the January one. I worked on my kitchen, um, which was still full of stuff from November. There was still a bunch of stuff that the workmen had left in there from November. And that's what I did during the all day declutter was work on getting a lot of stuff out of there. Um, I've been kind of chipping at it slowly but surely. Today, I finally cleared off, all my counters are cleared off. I've decluttered most of the cabinets in there. I still have some work to do. Like, it's not perfect, but it's functional. Like, the counters are clear, the stovetop is clear, the table is clear, the sink is clear. It's it's a huge improvement from where it's been for most of the last several years. Um, it's fantastic. So I've been doing that. I've worked on my living room. Um, yeah, it's I've taken some stuff to donate. It's great. Um, my house has definitely been improving a lot. Um, I've been doing some genealogy stuff. Uh, so I think Um, Last year, I had talked a little bit about I was helping a friend who was looking for his biological father, and we were waiting for the test results. There were some problems with the test, and he had to do the test again. The potential father had to do the test again, and blah blah blah. Well, my friend messaged me on the morning of New Year's Eve with the test results that this man is indeed his father. So I'm excited for him. And I also had decided to take a DNA test. I've been kind of debating about it. I had some concerns about it, and those haven't really gone away. But I have some stuff that I wanted to find out that I needed to have a DNA test for. And so I did one over Christmas, and I got it back in January. And so I've been playing with that. I did not know this. I did not know this. But when my friend who I was helping, he has about 8,000 matches on each side. His mother's side has about 8,000. His dad's side has about 8,000. My DNA matches, my mom's side has about 8,000. My dad's side has 73,000. And I found out my dad is Ashkenazi Jewish, or was. He's deceased now. He was Ashkenazi Jewish. And Ashkenazi Jewish is one of the largest endogamous populations that there is, which means, there's a limited number of them and they marry each other. It's just like any population on an island or any, population where there's a limited number of people and they intermarry for generations and generations and generations. And now they're all distantly related to each other. So these 73,000 matches, most of them are like distant cousins. And I'm never gonna, this is one of those things you're never gonna be able to figure out just by DNA alone how you're related to this person. It's gonna take a lot of genealogy, because if you have, like my mom's side, the DNA will show that, oh, this DNA comes from these two people and they got their DNA from this couple and that person, and they got their DNA from these two couples and they got these, like it all points in one direction towards, one common ancestor. With them, they've all got multiple common ancestors from multiple, you know, places, and the DNA is all broken up in little tiny bits. And so I'm I'm not worried about that. I'm not trying to find out that this person is my 27th cousin 42 times removed. So I'm not worried about that. On my dad's side, I'm really just looking at the very closest matches. On my mom's side, I'm trying to figure out who her great grandfather's birth parents were. And so I've been building some family trees and doing some stuff to eliminate people. I had a group of people that I thought maybe were in one of the birth families, but actually I think that they're related to my great grandmother. So I've been kind of trying to match them up and eliminate them. Okay, if they're on my great grandmother's side, they're probably not in the birth family. So I've been working on that a lot. The jury duty case, just real briefly, because I could spend an hour on this and I won't. Um, Real briefly, the case was this family was suing the skilled nursing facility where their father passed away. And they were blaming the skilled nursing facility for his death, saying that they did not feed him properly and they did not monitor him properly. They knew he was at risk for aspiration and they didn't monitor him properly. They didn't feed him the diet he was supposed to be on properly, that they neglected him and that they caused him to die. And the plaintiff kept pointing to these records. The meal record shows that there's one day where all the meal record spaces are blank, that they didn't record his meals, and there's a couple of other days here and there that they didn't record his meals. And he's like, see, they weren't feeding him. And they had ordered a test, a video guided swallow study, to determine why he wasn't able to swallow. And the plaintiff kept pointing to, see, that's neglect. They ordered the test and then they never followed through on it. They should have done it. And the bottom line is that they didn't have enough time to coordinate it. Like, and there's a lot of things like this where I just felt like, this test that they wanted, everybody said the LVN, the nurse practitioner, everybody said this test takes a week or 2 weeks to coordinate because there's a lot of moving parts. You got to get the insurance to approve it. You got to get all these different people in the same place at the same time, and you got to get the facility at the hospital to do it. And, you know, but they ordered this test and he died like 5 days later. They just didn't have the time. And there was just all kinds of stuff like this where I felt like the plaintiff was kind of trying to force the evidence into this narrative that they were trying to build, and it just didn't fit. Like, this man was very, very sick. He had a whole laundry list of things wrong with him, and there wasn't anything that this facility was going to be able to do for him. Now, the kind of shocking part was at the very end, the very last witness for the defense was a neurologist. And in one of this man's hospital stays, the he was kind of confused. He had like an altered mental state. He wasn't quite with it, and they weren't really sure why he was confused. And they did a CT scan, which came back abnormal. They did an MRI, which also came back abnormal. And the neurologist who read the MRI said, or the radiologist who read the MRI said, this should go back to neurology. Neurology needs to find out. There's something in his spinal fluid around his brain. It might be blood. It might be chronic meningitis. Somebody needs to go in there and find out what it is and treat him. The autopsy found that it was chronic meningitis. Neurology did nothing. The autopsy found it was chronic meningitis. And the expert witness who testified for the defense said the chronic meningitis would have explained his confusion, and if they had treated that like they were supposed to, he might not have needed to go to this facility. Like, these two parties would have never met if neurology had followed up and treated this chronic meningitis. It would have given him more life. He would have been less confused. A lot of these problems he was having, the swallowing, a lot of the stuff would probably have gone away, or at least, been much improved, and he probably wouldn't have needed the skilled nursing facility at all. And so I was like, they should have gone after the neurologist. So I didn't get to vote because we started out with 4 alternate jurors, and by the end I was the only one left. I didn't get to vote, but they all agreed unanimously in favor of the defense. Like, this facility did not cause this man to die. The neurologist probably could have saved him, but the facility, they couldn't have done anything for him. I know that the plaintiff was disappointed. The plaintiff's attorney was disappointed. The family was disappointed, but it just wasn't there. That's the bottom line. It's the case that they were trying to bring just wasn't there. But the other jurors and I, we spent 22 days on this case together, and we all became friends. We have a text message thread. We keep in touch. So I got together with one of the girls and spent a few hours with her one day. There's another one who lives not too far from me that I'm going to try to get together with her if I can, if she can find some time in her schedule. But so we all became friends, and that part's been a lot of fun. We all enjoyed being together. We all enjoyed hanging out with each other. And we were in downtown LA, so there was a lot to do down there. And at lunchtime, we'd go different places for lunch. And we went to the bookstore one day, and we went to a couple of the museums that are there. And we were having a good time, even though the jury duty itself is disruptive, and the case was, at some points, it was really boring. And anyway, that's enough of that. That's not why I've been jabbering for 20 minutes. I told you this was probably going to be a little more heavy on the chat than the stitching. Here we are, 20 minutes later. Stitching. So I'm going to show you this. I've had some new starts I've had 3 new starts so far this year. And I had one at the end of last year that I don't think I showed you. Um, it was probably in my October video that I never uploaded. I think I started in October. Um, so I have that. I haven't finished anything. Um, I have some haul because even though I haven't been stitching, I've still been doing some shopping. And I have some progress on some of my WIPs. I'm going to start though, so that I don't forget her. I'm going to start with and I'm not going to show you the, I'm not going to show you the cover picture because I have enough done. This is what it looks like. So this is my by Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. This is an out-of-date picture. I don't have a current picture, and she's at work, so I can't show it. But I finished all the cross stitch on her, and I'm back stitching her. You can see there that I've back stitched the flowers on her kimono. I back stitched the scarf. After this picture was taken, I've done the back stitch in her hair, the black back stitch that goes in her hair. And I've started the dark blue cross stitch, back stitch around her kimono. So well, actually, I'm almost done with the dark blue cross stitch around her kimono, or back stitch. I'm almost done with the dark blue. Uh, so I'm only in the office about twice a week. I work on it in the office twice a week. I'm chipping away at it, and I think the 24 hours of cross stitch weekend is coming up in a few weeks, and I think my goal is going to be to work on her until then, and then that weekend I'll bring her home, and my goal will be to finish her during the 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. So that's my I'm gonna show you some of this other stuff, these WIPs, and then I'll show you my new starts. Um, so this first WIP, and these are in random order. These are not in any particular order. Um, this is Linus the Trick and the Treat by Prairie Moon. And this is the one this year that I divided into 12 parts to finish it by the end of the year. The one that I chose for last year was Mai, and I still have not finished her. And I did 200 stitches on this while I was at the hotel in November. And I've done, let's see how much I've done this year. I've done a little over 600 stitches on it this year. So that's about 800 stitches since I showed it last. I finished page 3. This year I've done that motif at the bottom with the black cat inside of it. And I've done the stars. That there's some spacing mistakes in that black cat, but I'm not fixing it because that was 300 and some odd stitches, and I'm not frogging all of that to move it over 2 squares. So I might move the 1 star though because it looks kind of wonky. But so I've been working on that. The February section that since this is the one I split into 12, the January section was this motif right here with the cat and some of this right here. And then this is the February section. There's witches' hats in here. And then the March section goes down here. This is scarecrows. And then the April section, there's just a few random motifs right here. That's going to be the April section. So there's Dinah's the Trick and the Treat. The fabric is 32 count flapper by Pictures Plus. I don't know if they still make that color or not, but that's what the fabric is. So there it is. And it lives in this witch's bag from Garan. Okay, let me start. That's gonna wait. Something I've been kind of focusing on this year, because this is one of the ones that I want to finish too, and I've been trying to fit it into categories whenever I can. Um, I've done, okay, see how many stitches I've done on it in a minute. This is Poppy from Nora Corbett. And so I've been kind of focusing on her, trying to put her in categories whenever I can. I've done 900 stitches on her so far this year. That's where she is. So she's coming together. I was told to not put off her wings until last, and I should probably heed that advice. But I keep working on her dress. But there she is. This is on my Whipco board. It's one of the things that I want to finish this year. So. I guess I've done 4 new starts this year. Alright, I guess all the rest of these are new starts. Okay, so the first thing, the one that I started last October, that's probably in my October video that I didn't upload, is Dreidel Dreidel by Ink Circles. So it was a Saturday. I'm pretty sure the story's in my October video too. It was a Saturday, and I don't remember what was going on, but I started thinking, I think I was probably seeing, because, there's this war in Israel that was very, very new in October. And I was like, it's Shabbat, it's Saturday, there's a war going on in Israel, and I don't have any Jewish pieces on the go. I finished the ones that I had. I don't have any currently going. I was supposed to start one and I didn't. And like, let me find one. So the one I was originally gonna do, because it was kitted and it would have been easy to do, is, and I was originally gonna start this in 2020 and I never did, or 2021. Where is it? Here it is. This was the one that I originally had in mind. This is Judaic Stained Glass by Kulo Design Studio. And I said something on the group chat, and Vic was like, hey, have you seen this one? And she posted Dreidel Dreidel. And I was like, yeah, I have that. And I think I actually have the thread for it if I can find it. And I found the chart, and I found the thread for it. And so I'm like, that would be a better option. It's smaller. And I ended up going on the Ink Circles website and buying the electronic pattern so I could do it in Pattern Keeper. And so I started Dreidel Dreidel. And the thread is The thread is Blue Lagoon by Belsois. Or Lagoon. Is it Blue Lagoon? Lagoon. It's Blue Lagoon by Classic Colorworks Belsois. And I'm stitching it on this is a Fortnite fabric. I think that it's Dryad Saddle from Fortnite Fabric. But there's where I got on it. I think that's about 400 stitches. So that's where I got on that in October and November. And then, even though I didn't really stitch in December, January 1st came, New Year, New Start, and I was like, I'm still going to do my New Year, New Start. Even though I'm not really stitching, I'm still going to do it. So, and I had to kind of search for the one that I wanted to do. I had to find the pattern because my house was in chaos in November and December, and I'm like, I don't know what happened to it. And Vic was shaking her head at me because I'm over here trying to do New Start. I haven't picked my thread. I haven't picked my fabric. I'm still trying to figure out color options. And she's like, so what I wanted to start was, I found this on Stash and Load, and it was an out of print price, but it wasn't too bad for being an out of print price. Is A Female Arts by the Primitive Needle, and it says a female arts and usefulness, the needle far exceeds the rest. In ornament, there's no device affords adorning half so nice. So, it's A Female Arts by the Primitive Needle. And I originally had it in a different project bag, and I moved it to the sewing bag because it's about stitching. And I went back and forth on the color options, and I thought the picture of on the cover picture and the picture of the NPI they used on 123 Stitch, it looks like a brown. I'm told it's actually like an olive green. It looks like a brown. And I kind of debated about doing it in dark blue, but I ended up going with, I think this is the other half of the Dryad Saddle. I think this is the other half of the fabric that Dreidel's on. Um, I'm making a mess here. Yeah. Take this off. Okay. Um, so that's where I got. That's only 200 stitches. But I started it. I ended up with, 838, and I think this is Dryad Saddle. So there's my New Year, New Start. I haven't touched that this year. This is going to be my categories for April for least amount stitched, which is not a new start. Least amount stitched I've been existing with, 200 stitches. All right. And then my next new start, back probably in my August video, I talked about, I went to the Orange County Fair with a friend. And at the Orange County Fair, of course, they have a needlework competition. They have they have a stitching competition, which is the entire reason why I go to the fair. The food and all that, that's nice, but the stitching is why I go. And my friend, who I thought was going to be like, yeah, you text me when you're done with that and I'll meet up with you. But he went through the whole thing with me. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think that he would be interested, but we went through the whole building, the home arts building with the quilting and the knitting and the table setting and all the stuff. And he went through the whole thing. Um, and they had one of the entries that they had was this piece here. This is Travel Memories by Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. And he kept staring at it because he likes it because it has a travel theme, right? Mr. went to Europe 3 times in a year, and he's getting ready to go to South Africa in May. And if you are familiar, here it is. I was like, where's my stitching? If you're familiar with Dimensions, they have a very distinct style. And so I'm looking at that piece and I'm like, I know exactly where to get that. That's a Dimensions Gold piece. Because they have a very distinct style. So I ordered it and I started it on I think January 3rd. So this is where I am on it. And he does not know. I did not tell him. I'm going to finish it eventually and I will gift it to him as a surprise. He does not know that I got this and that I'm going to stitch it for him. He's stitch worthy. That was the first thing I said is he stitch worthy? Absolutely he is. So there's that. I think I've done, this is mostly half stitch. When I was looking at the key, there's only a few symbols that are full stitches. Like most of it is half stitch. And I have done 545 stitches on it. And that's most of them being half stitches. So that's really like 1,000 half stitches. So there's that. And this lives in this bag that I won in the raffle from Cricklewood Crossing when I went to Stitch West in 2021. Oh no, this bag does not. This has a different new start in it. This is going to be the next thing I show. This does not live in this bag. This lives in this flower bag from Garan. Which, aside from the butterflies, I don't think that this bag matches this project particularly well, but I didn't really have a bag that I thought was a particularly good match, so the butterflies was as close as I could get to a good match. All right. This. Oh, I got one more whip. I'm gonna show this real quick. It was buried under all this stuff. I got one more whip. This one I just pulled out this week, because I was tired and it hadn't been stitched on yet this year. It needs stitches, and it's easy to do with 100 stitches because it's all one color. Well, it's not all one color, but there's big, 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 big sections of white. And it is a Savannah's Curtsy by Mirabilia. See all that white in her skirt? Yeah. So I pulled this out this past week when I was doing chores for Harvest Stitchers. Um, and I only did 300 stitches in it, but it's 300 more than I had before. So there she is. You can't even, can you see all that white on there? You can kind of see it, but there's a bunch of white. Yeah. So there's Savannah. My whip good goal on her this year is 5,000 stitches again, just like it was last year. I'm at 300, so I better get a move on. My goal for the dogs is also 5,000 stitches, and I have not touched them this year. So I'm gonna have to get a move on. I need my stitchy bug to come back. It's getting there. I've been working on it. So my last new start was kind of a impulse. So one of the things that I did as I've been working on taking my house back and decluttering is I had a puzzle that I put together probably at least 5 years ago. I don't know when it was, but it was probably at least 5 years ago. And it's been put together, but it's been sitting on my coffee table all this time. And it's gotten stuff stacked on it, and it's just kind of become one with the coffee table. And one of the things that Dana from A Slob Come Clean says is finishing a project counts as decluttering. So if you hang a picture on the wall, or you have something in a box and you need to put it together, or you take something and you take a few minutes to glue it back together, or to fix it, or replace the shade on a lamp, or whatever it is that you need to do to make this object, this item work, or to, you know, that counts as decluttering because you've dealt with that item and now you can use it and you don't have to keep shuffling it around, you know. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a frame for this puzzle, and I'm gonna frame this puzzle. And I'm going to get this puzzle off my coffee table. So I went to Joann and I bought a frame and I glued I glued the puzzle together. No, that's not any better. I glued the puzzle together, and what the puzzle is uh, Central Park in the Winter by Thomas Kinkade. So I was so happy with it when I framed it. It's still sitting over there on the couch, but just like this. But I was so happy with it when I framed it. And it got me thinking that I had the kit. Hold on, I'll show you. Yeah, this one. I have the kit of, it's the same picture, but it's Central Park in the Fall by Thomas Kinkade and Candemar. And so, sort of on a whim, I'm like, I framed the winter one, let me stitch the autumn one. I've been I'm still kind of doing it, but I was kind of going back and forth a lot on it because I don't love full coverage. It's full coverage. I don't love full coverage. But I kind of did it on a whim, and I was immediately reminded why I don't like full coverage that much. But it's it's fine. It'll be okay. It's um it's not as, and I just did it on the kit fabric. Um because if it had been on like 14 count Aida, or I would have probably switched it to Lagana, but it's on, I think it's on 16 count or 18 count. It's on some counts of fabric that I am not likely to have anything in my stash that I could use. So I decided to just do it on the kit Aida. And I've done 503 stitches. So there's my start on Central Park in the Fall by Thomas Kincaid and Candemar. So honestly, I don't know that that's not going to get UFO'd at some point. It might. I don't know. I'm willing to give it a fair chance. So there it is. And maybe it'll get UFO'd. Maybe I'll finish it. Maybe, I don't know. Stay tuned. So that's what I've been stitching on, as much whatever stitching I've been doing since November. Um, so I'm trying to get back into it and trying to get my stitch counts back up. And, I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of things that I want to finish. I have a lot of things that I want to start. I've started some stuff. So I need to be doing more than 1,500 stitches a month in order to get there. Um, so um, I'm going to work on that. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to have to figure it out. Anyway, so that's what I stitched. Oh, just because I haven't been stitching doesn't mean I haven't been shopping, right? Y'all know that. These are kind of in random order too. I'm not trying to go back and reconstruct when I bought what. These are in random order. They're in the order they're stuck here. This first one has a story. So back in February, Vic at Stitch and Benton, maybe it was even January, Vic did a live sale on YouTube and trying to clear out some older stock of things that she had. Needle minders and froggers and scissor fobs and just stuff that she'd been hanging on to for a while that hadn't sold. And she always does real well with these live sales. She puts everything on sale, on discount, and she always gets rid of a bunch of stock that way. So I was like late because I forgot about it. I think I had fallen asleep and I woke up and had a notification from YouTube saying, "Hey, Vic's having a live sale," and I was like, "Yay!" I forgot. So I got on there and I bought a few things, and she mailed it. I know she mailed it because she's very prompt about that. And it showed on my informed delivery. She mailed it, and I thought it was going to be delivered, and it said it's late, it's delayed, it's late. It was sent back to the post office. It's late, it's late, it's late. This went on for 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, I think I figured it out, and I would show you. Finally, it said it's being delivered. So they leave it at my door, and it's in this different envelope. It's not an envelope that Vic uses. And there's a big notice on it. In fact, I have pictures. That's what I'll do. I'll show you the pictures. I have pictures. This, oh, I'm going to change this so that I'm not putting my address out there. This is the note that came on the label that they put on it. Please accept our apologies that your mail was damaged while in handling, and I assume that's code for Los Angeles National Distribution Center, something like that. Wherever their main distribution center here is here in LA. And so I posted on the group chat and I said, "What do you want to bet my needle minders are broken?" So I opened the envelope, and then I opened the envelope that Vix had packaged it in, and this is what it was. That's what her envelope looked like, and that's what the cardboard that she packaged the needle minders in looked like. Thank goodness she had those needle minders wrapped in cardboard, because that's what. And we're thinking that the magnet got caught on the conveyor belt or something, and that's how this happened. So that's what I received from the post office after 2 weeks. I was like, I bet you my needle miters are broken. But luckily for me, and surprisingly enough, they're not. So I got Aviator Snoopy, and I got Charlie Brown and Snoopy. And Vic was saying she's surprised that the Charlie Brown one didn't break where his arm is, where his arm attaches to his body. And then I also got the little gingerbread one. And this one also could have broken. It could have broken right here where the chimney is, that candy cane. And it didn't break. So, yay. And then, if you remember a year ago, last April, I was doing road trip, and there was a few prompts that had, there was one in particular that had a significant discount. It was like 1,000 stitches or 1,200 stitches or 1,500 stitches down to 50 stitches. It was a significant discount. If you had these particular objects in your whip. I did not have anything with those objects in it, but I'm like, this would be worth a new start, but I didn't want a big start. And so I went shopping, and I found a Mill Hill, because that was sort of that was about what I was looking for. I wasn't looking to start a Haid. I was looking for a small project. I found the Mill Hill of Cabin Fever. And at the same time, I had been watching Vicky at Reading and Stitching, or shortly before that, Vicky at Reading and Stitching had put up had everybody voting on what whip she was going to use for last year. And she had showed one, and I'm like, I want that one. And so I found this place that was carrying it, and that's how I ended up ordering it from them, because they were carrying it. And they sent me the Cabin Fever one. This one was on back order. A few weeks ago, almost a year later, she emailed me and said, hey, I finally got this. Do you still want it? Yes, please. So this is the St. Nicholas Cathedral from Mill Hill. And almost a year after I ordered it, in several months, I finished Cabin Fever at Labor Day last year, September. I finally got St. Nicholas Cathedral. I've participated a couple of times in the Bestitch Me Friday Night Fight Night. Those are a lot of fun. You have to be quick, but they're fun. So the last one that she did, which I think might have been in January, I don't know when it was. I got 3 of them. This is 32 count tundra, which does not show up true at all. That's a little bit better. But it's like a ice blue. This is 32 count frozen lake, which is more of it's like a darker tealish kind of blue. And this is 32 counts pink chocolate, which is like a gray purple. So I got those from Brandy at Stitch Me. So I think I talked about this at some point last year. So one of the things, I've had several run-ins with management here. One of the things that we had a run-in about was the overgrowth in my patio back here. And apparently there were raccoons getting in there, and there's this little crawl space back here where the screen that they had put over it had come undone, and so they were getting into that little space under there. And so they were after me to clean up the overgrowth because the raccoons and blah, 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 blah. Well, I was talking about it on Zoom one night and I accidentally said koala instead of raccoon. So it's become this running joke that Laurel has raccoon or koalas, living on her patio. So this this Mill Hill came out and Sammy showed it to me, and of course I bought it from her. This is Koala Santa, and it's adorable. He's holding a Santa. He's holding a koala, and he's adorable. So of course I got that. Um, so there's been this. Well, let me just show this. So there was a picture, and you've probably seen it if you're in the mirror groups, of somebody, and I don't remember her name. She took all of Nora Corbett's reindeer, the Christmas Eve couriers, and she stitched them together, like in a 3x3, 3x3 square. She stitched them together, and it's fantastic. And so we were talking about it on the group chat, and a couple of the girls were like, "I'm gonna do this," and there were a couple more of us who were like, I'm in the category. Maybe I'd be interested. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. They're gonna start it next February. If you're interested, Sammy at Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery posted about it in the group, and I think she's going to be ordering one of the reindeer per month that you can order, and she'll get you the beads, she'll get you the specialty thread, she'll get you whatever you want. For if you want to stitch these. So I decided I don't know if I'm going to do this, but let me at least get the charts so then I can decide. Um, right now with my stitchy bug kind of on shaky ground, I feel like I don't have the bandwidth to take on a project like this. But by next winter, maybe I'll change my mind. So I got the first one. This is Dasher from Nora Corbett. So if you're interested and you join the Tiny Hummingbird group, and Sammy will be glad to get you whatever you want. All right. There's this new craze going around, and I'm a lemming, and so I haven't really done too much with this, but I bought some. I'm like, let me get a pack and let me try it out. And I haven't really done too much with it. I don't really have an opinion on it yet, but I got a set of Nurges off of Amazon. Um, Here's the other size. So I put Maya in this one. Um, I don't have an opinion yet. I need to play with it some more. What I want to do actually, the reason why I bought it, what I want to do is get my Lowry out, and I'm hoping that those are going to help me to be able to use my Lowry, because that would be a lot of help on my full coverage, and on things like His Eyes on the Sparrow. Um, so that's really what I'm hoping that's going to help me with, is my Lowry. All right, I got a lot of stuff here. um, so I got some Bic bags because, of course, I do. Um, Charlie Brown. I saw another seller who was selling a Charlie Brown bag, and the fabric was adorable. But she only had it in the accessory bag, and I asked her if she had any more if she could make a regular size bag, and she said she didn't have any more of that fabric. And so I started talking to Vic about it, and so Vic found this fabric, and so I got Charlie Brown fabric, and it has the gray inside, and she sent me some thread drops. And then these were real popular, and I think I may have gotten the last one, but the sloth on the flamingo floaty, and it's just really cute with the white inside. And it has a little sloth zipper pull. I think the Charlie Brown one has a, what is this? The Charlie Brown one, oh, it has a music note zipper pull. Because when you think about Charlie Brown, you think of the theme song, right? Alright. This is a lot. Alright, real quick. Market order. We're just going to do this real quick. I ordered from Sammy. She sent me all the freebies. That's what this is back here, is all the freebies from Market. I haven't even actually gone through them yet. I got Anne Kirby 1845, which was an exclusive from Hobby House Needleworks, and they just released it at this past Market. This is by Needlework Press, Vicki Jennett. I love this one. This is by The Proper Stitcher. This is Strength and Dignity. And it says, she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come, from the Book of Proverbs. It's so pretty. This is by Pedal Pusher. I just thought this was adorable. What is this? The Salt Box Fairy Village. It's bright and colorful and adorable. And maybe I'll talk Laura King into starting that with me. Laura, I know you watch my videos. This this was adorable, and we all like this one on Zoom. This is by the Artsy Housewife, who's, I think, is fairly new, definitely new to me, but I think she's also fairly new to the design scene. This is You Got This, with the owl and the mug, and it's just adorable. There's another one with a mug and a different saying, and I think maybe a different owl or a different bird, but this one was cuter. I didn't like the other one as much. I got this one. This one was real popular on Zoom, in our Zoom group, and I think we're going to have a stitch along with this because several of us bought it. This is Abalonia's Apple Tree, also from Artsy Housewife, and the fox and the apple tree, and it's just amazing. And I think this was probably my favorite thing that came out at Market. Okay, and this is not a Market thing. So that was my Market order. This is not a Market thing, but she shipped it to me with my Market order. So Sammy was making an order from Alforest Embroidery in Russia, and the shipping is crazy expensive. And so in order to make the shipping worthwhile, she's like, hey, does anybody want to go in with me on this order to Alforest? So, of course, a bunch of us did. And it seems like, I think everybody, or nearly everybody that went on the order, we were all ordering the same thread. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Here it is. We were all ordering the same thing, the thread. This is Moon Deer by Alforest. And there's also another one called Star Dragon or something. There's a companion to this called Star Dragon or something like that. And several of them ordered that thread too. I didn't. I only ordered this thread. So I got my little thread pack from Alforest and with their overdyed threads. And you can order their less expensive threads, the Russian threads, or you can order them in DMC. And so we got the DMC ones. And so that was that. Alright, two more things. And then I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go find something to drink. Homespun needlework. I talk about this all the time. I know I do. They do this series of exclusives that they partner with different designers and different shops to offer these exclusive designs and their kits. And the purpose of it is to drive money into the shop. So they partner with the shop and they partner with the designer and they offer these kits on the Homespun Needlework group. So if you're interested, join the Homespun Needlework Samplers and Cross Stitch, or Cross Stitch and Samplers, and they have them open for, I think usually they stay open for about 2 weeks, and then most of them they release the design about a year later. They'll release it at market, or they'll release it at expo, about a year later, and so I've bought several of them. Some of them I passed, but a lot of them I bought. And so, since I haven't been making videos, I've gotten two. One of them is this one from Erica Michaels. It's Winter Wishes. And it says, Star of Wonder, Star of Light, make a snowflake fall tonight. So, that's from Erica Michaels. And it's got the 2 strawberries because Erica Michaels. And so, there's the kit, and it comes with the little thread keep and the snowflake thread keep. And so I got that. And then the other one that I got, this one is unusual because the designer said that she is not going to release it to the public. That it's offered in this group and she is not going to release it. So the admin of the group at some point had put out a question, hey, would you guys be interested in an exclusive that was a BAP? And, we all know what BAP means, but in that group they call it a big awesome project instead of the other word that goes in there. And everybody's like, yeah, well, a lot of people are like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So she got together with Vicky from Needlework Press, and they put this project on with the shop, the Colorado Cross Stitcher in Colorado. And so I got it, and the project is Charlotte Warrington, 1838. And this is the original sampler. And so I got that. I got the silk thread to go with it. So I have not started it. There were several people that started on Leap Day. I did not. So I got that. I also got another one that was put out by Stacy Nash that just shipped like yesterday. So I'm gonna get that later this week, and you're gonna have to wait until my next video to see it. And they're actually coming out with one on Monday. I think they're putting out a new one. It's gonna be by um, it's gonna be by Wendy by Stitching from the Needle Art from the Heart by Wendy. It's gonna be by her. That's what I'm. She's the one that does those little Quakers, those little monthly Quakers. Um, so that's coming out on Monday. So we'll see if I get it or not. There are some that I like and some that I'm like, I like it, but I'll wait till it comes out. One of the Stacy Nash ones was like that. The Bees and Birds sewing roll. I liked it, but I didn't want to pay for the kit, and I waited till it was released, and I bought the chart when it was released. I also, when I was going through my PayPal trying to get all these purchases together, I also had bought a couple of other things off Stash and Load. I don't know what I did with them. I bought a Lottie Dad chart, and I bought the woodpecker from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I also, actually, speaking of electronic charts, I bought an electronic chart from, let's see if I can find it. I don't have it on here. Oh, I have a mail scanner. Um, this is what I want. I saw this, somebody posted it, and I was like, ooh, pretty, yes, please. This is by Happiness is Heart Made. And I stopped what I was doing, and I went and I bought it, and I downloaded it. This is the Pomegranate Alphabet Sampler by Happiness is Heart Made. I was like, that is so pretty. So I got that. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling from me today. It's been more than an hour, but I haven't been here in several months, so there was a lot to talk about. Um, I'm really happy to see you guys again. I'm hoping that my stitching will pick up and we'll get some of these projects finished, in particular and um, yeah, I think I think that's all that I have. Um, I hope you didn't mind me rambling too much at the beginning, but there's just been a lot going on with the construction and the jury duty and the cleaning and the decluttering and the this and that and the other thing, and so I hope to see you guys next month, and happy stitching. Bye.